Hello and welcome to RetroBreak, and welcome to a kind of unusual video. So in this video I'm going to be looking back over the past 5 years of making videos in this flat, in this room right here. So some of you might not know, but I'm actually moving house very soon. In fact, I already thought I would be out by now, hence why there's not any games left on the shelf here, and also why I've kind of been struggling to actually make videos recently, because I haven't got any consoles here anymore, I haven't got any way of capturing any footage, so this may be the last video for a while until I move into the new place and get everything set up. So I just thought today's video could be kind of a thank you for the past 5 years and a look back over some of my favourite videos that I've made during the time. But the first thank you has to go to my channel sponsor. This is actually the last video that they'll be sponsoring, and they are, of course, Bifrost Bridge Studios. They've been really great to me over the past 2 years almost, and they've made some amazing things. They've made some graphic novels, they've just finished a really successful Kickstarter, and they are well on their way to making a really cool Game Boy RPG. Unfortunately, it didn't get released in time for me to cover it as part of the sponsorship, but of course when it does come out I will be doing a full video, and I'm sure you'll be hearing more about them in the future. So Bifrost Bridge Studios, thank you so much for being my first regular sponsor on the channel. It really meant a lot to me personally, so I just wanted to say a huge thank you. Keep up the great work, and I'm sure we will work more together in the future. And now, with that said, let's take a look at some of the most important videos that I've made over the past 5 years that have really helped to improve the channel, and ones that I'm really proud of and want to do more like in the future. Let's get started. So I thought some interesting videos to start this off would be the first one that I ever made in this flat, and then the second one is the first one that I ever made in this room right here. So the first one I made in the flat was a really basic video called 5 games to play after Breath of the Wild on the Switch, and I was in the living room. This was even before we had a sofa, so it was a completely empty room. I'm just sat against a white wall, and it's really echoey. Although maybe not for the asking price. I'd say pick it up if you can find it for about 30. When I was watching some of these old videos back, I realised just how bad the audio quality was. But it was the beginning of a new era, and the next video I wanted to take a look at was the first retro game pickups video that I actually did in this room right here. I was over there against the wall. There was actually a different desk which was sort of like a half circle shape, and it had a nice little pinboard on the side as well. And let's see if I can show you what's there now. So now we have the light box there, which is really cool actually. If I can just switch that on. There you go. You can see it's lit up. I actually use that for recording all of the unboxings and stuff. And then of course I've got my monitor there which is recording the audio, but it didn't used to be like that. So it's quite interesting looking back on these videos and seeing how things have changed over time. Now the third video was a video that I was really excited to make, and it was also the first video in a long running series that I've kept up with all the way up until today, and that is the London Gaming Market 2017. I'm here at the Retro Gaming Market in London. This was the first time that I'd actually been away to an event and actually thought about doing a proper video, and I absolutely loved it. I loved doing the tour, I loved doing the pickups afterwards, and that was something that I did a lot more on the channel in the future. So that is where it all began. London Gaming Market 2017. Another early video that I recorded in here that's really made a mark on the channel and kind of helped me understand what I wanted to do more of in the future. That was a review of the RetroBreak console, where I went really in depth with all of the different features of it. It's got really good views today, so it definitely paid off. And it was kind of based on an older video that I'd done in my old house for the Retron 5, so I really wanted to do more of them. And of course, over the years since, I've done a lot more like that, like the one I did for the Mister, like the ones I've done for the EverDrive, and it's definitely something I'd like to do more of in the future. And the next one here was another one where I actually went out to take a look at a load of different game shops, this time in Birmingham, and I had a great time going around filming all of the different locations, coming back here, talking about what I picked up, and then sort of doing tours of the different shops. And that is also something that I carried forward for the next 5 years as well. I've actually done a lot of shop tours now, and gaming market tours around Birmingham and other parts of the UK, and at some point in the future I would actually love to be able to travel around the UK and take a look at all of the independent game shops, because there's so many amazing shops that really deserve more attention. Now, the next video was one called 5 Great Game Boy Platformers, and this is kind of the first proper video that I did in the playlist that became RetroBreak's top games. So this format is obviously really easy to do, and up until that point I kind of thought of it as being a little bit boring, honestly, but people really enjoyed hearing my stories about the games that I chose for the list. And since then, of course, I've made about 20 different top games lists, and it's something that I really want to do more of, and it's really frustrating that I don't actually have games here anymore to be able to do them, because it is something, one, that I really love doing, two, it gives me a good opportunity to go back and play some of my favourite games, and of course it's also really good for the channel. Literally, over the past 5 years, the videos that have got me the most subscribers are top games lists and hardware reviews like the RetroBreak one that I talked about earlier. So I'm definitely going to be doing more top games lists in the new room, and I really can't wait for that. Now, skipping forward a bit, the next really important video that I did here, I did it standing over there by that shelf, and that was my 3,000 subscribers special. I'm so excited because today I've finally hit 3,000 subscribers. So for those of you who are watching this video today as it's gone live, I think I've got about 14,000 subscribers, something like that. And when I actually moved in here 5 years ago, I only had about 1,000 and something. So the growth that I've had over the past 5 years compared to the 10 years before is just quadrupled in size. It's just incredible, and thank you all for staying with me throughout the past 5 years and helping it become what it's become now. And when we move into the new house, I would love to do another video at the start there, maybe my 15,000 subscriber special, and then end it another 5 years later with maybe 100,000 if I'm not getting ahead of myself. I really do think I can make it there. And an interesting video from 2018 now, and it would be really interesting to compare the one from 2018 to the one that I did a few months ago, and that is my room tour. It was actually the first time that I'd taken the camera around the entire room, and I also showed what was in the living room at the time as well, and that will be really interesting to look back on in the future when I'm out of this flat and I'm kind of remembering my life here and stuff. I can always look back on those videos. So I think it is really important in life to capture the memories of a certain year and then look back on it in the future, and you can kind of remember what you were doing at the time, where you were in life, where you were with your job and everything, just from seeing that part of your life. So it is really good that I actually did this video, and it's something that I want to do a lot more of in the future. Not just gaming related as well, I want to try and capture more of my life to be able to look back on. I really do think it's something very important. And now a type of video that I wish I could do more of, but they are just so time consuming, especially because of the amount of care and effort and also the cost of getting all the games to do these videos. And the first of this type of video that I was actually really proud of was my WarioWare series retrospective. Of course, I've done a lot more retrospectives since, and they are definitely some of my favourites to make, but they take so long to make, and because I kind of set myself this arbitrary challenge of making one video a week, it actually made it really difficult to focus on making these longer videos, like the Umihara Kawase one that I made earlier this year, or like the Trackmania or Monkey Ball ones that I made in 2020. So going into 2022 and beyond, I might not try and stick to the weekly upload schedule, just so that I can get out some of these bigger, more meaningful videos that I really enjoy making, but I always feel pressured to release a little video in between. So maybe next year, if I don't put so much pressure on myself, I can try and get some of these bigger videos out. I've got some really big plans. I think I've got about 10 different retrospectives actually written down that I really want to make, and I know you guys and girls will absolutely love them. So stick with me. Maybe 2022 won't have quite as many videos as the past 5 years, but I really want to make quality over quantity going forward. And now, definitely the most important video. This one was released in 2018, and this was Welcome to RetroBreak. So before my channel name was RetroBreak, you might remember it as Let's Play Retro Games. And welcome back to Let's Play Retro Games.
Let's play games. I love Let's Play games.
Not Let's Plays, we're doing pickups.
No, Let's Play.
Look at all these amazing DS games I got recently.
they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get in.
And in hindsight, that was a terrible name. It was a terrible decision. No one could find the channel, and those that did got there, realised there wasn't actually any Let's Plays on the channel, and just clicked off straight away. It was not what people were expecting. So rebranding to RetroBreak, I think personally, was the best decision that I've ever made on my YouTube channel. And since then, you can actually look at this graph of the subscriber count from when I announced the new channel branding in the end of 2018 up until now. That is really when my channel started to take off. So for the past 13 or so years, I'd had this channel name that didn't really mean anything, and before that even, it was Nintendo Wii, which also didn't really mean anything, although I still think it's a pretty clever name. But when I rebranded to RetroBreak, and that was actually the first year as well that I actually focused on making a proper plan for YouTube as well. It really started to pick up some momentum around that time. And the first video under the RetroBreak name that I was really proud of was my documentary of Tetsuya Mizuguchi, which unfortunately not a lot of people saw. I couldn't really come up with a very good title for it. I think that was part of the problem. But the video itself, the content of the video, and the amount of time it took me to actually script the video was way bigger than anything else I'd done in the past, and I was so proud of the results. It really didn't even matter to me that not many people watched it. I just knew that I had made a really good video. And unfortunately, I haven't really made too many videos like that since then, which is a little bit disappointing. So definitely go and check out that Tetsuya Mizuguchi documentary if you want to see what I'm actually capable of. And I'm sure if I was to make the same video today, it would be even better, because since then I've actually become a lot better at communicating in front of the camera, and especially doing voiceover, which is something I really struggled with back then. Now for my favourite video of 2019 that I made, and that was my video of Play Expo Manchester. I'm still really proud of this video. I think I did a fantastic job of showing off the event, and I was so excited to go there because this was the first time that I really felt seen as a YouTuber. I actually got a VIP pass, so I got full access. I could do interviews with people, I could take the camera around everywhere, and I think I made a fantastic video, even if I did have way too much to drink on the first night. And then the second day while I was there, I was just so hungover, I really struggled. But I think the actual output from the video was still really good, and I had a great time editing it, and the feedback that I got after from the people that invited me to the event, Games You Loved, thank you so much for the opportunity. They absolutely loved the video, and so did a lot of other people that I really admire on YouTube as well. So to get that sort of recognition and to get that feedback from people that I really look up to really meant a lot to me, and I really loved doing that video. And of course, obviously, since then there hasn't been that much chance to go back to events and do videos like that, mostly because of COVID. So hopefully next year when things open back up, I would love to go back to events and do more sort of event tours and behind the scenes looks at how gaming events are set up and stuff. I think that would be really fascinating, and I would love to do more like that in the future. And now for the video that has probably changed the trajectory of my channel more than anything else. This was my first ever Game Boy homebrew video. And of course, if you've seen my channel recently, I've gone homebrew crazy. I've done so many videos since then, but it all started with this one back in 2019 when I actually got my EverDrive GB, and I loaded it full of homebrew games, and I absolutely loved what I saw, and I've kept up with the community ever since. And of course, a video after that one, this was actually released back to back, so the homebrew video came first, and then my EverDrive X7 video, and they've actually became two of my most popular videos on the channel now, and they really kind of gave me a good idea as to what the audience actually expects and wants from my channel. So I do plan eventually to cover every different EverDrive that I can find and every different flash card. In fact, I got one sent over recently, but because I haven't got a way of filming it, I've been putting that video off until I move into the new place. But trust me, it's a really good one. If you've got a GBA, check out the Easy Flash Definitive Edition. There is a video coming very soon. So the EverDrive videos were really important to the direction that I took the channel, and of course the homebrew videos as well. They kind of go hand in hand. So it was really great for me at the time to find out that people actually cared greatly about both of those topics. And around this time as well, I'd actually been doing a lot of reading up online and in books and stuff about presenting on video, so I actually improved myself a lot in 2019 and 2020, and I was also reading a lot about storytelling and script writing and charisma and that sort of thing. And I really think that all of the focus that I put on study and research back then really started to pay off early 2020 with my first video review that I actually properly scripted from start to finish, and that was my review for Tobu Tobu Girl DX. And it's still one of the best videos that I've done, I think. I went into loads of detail and I didn't rush it, which I think is a really important thing that I need to try and do more of in the future, is to really sit down, study what I want the video to be about, plan it out properly, make sure I get the 3-act structure set up properly, and really focus on making a great video and a great viewer's experience as well. And I really think that the first time I actually put all of this learning together was the Tobu Tobu DX video, which came out in early 2020. And of course, another video from early 2020, which I know a lot of people really love, and another one that I really focused on putting a lot of time and effort into, and one that I am super proud of, that is my Super Monkey Ball retrospective. Of course, it's still one of my favourite videos that I've ever made. I'm a huge fan of the series. I love the fact that I actually tracked down both of the arcade machines as well to show off in the video. And I also love the fact that a lot of people that I really look up to actually saw the video and enjoyed it. I think honestly that means more to me than the viewers and the subscribers, is actually hearing the feedback from people that I actually admire and look up to, actually watching my videos and enjoying it. It just fills me with so much determination to carry on doing this. That really is the driving force behind this, is to know that you guys really enjoy the videos. And then just after I uploaded that video, something else really exciting in my life happened. I went back to Japan for the 3rd time, and for the first time that I'd been living in this flat. So of course the rest of 2020 during lockdown I was just going through all of the different pickups that I'd got from Japan, and there was a lot. So that kept me busy for like the next 6 months, honestly. There's playlists on my channel, you can have a look in the pickups ones, or you can actually have a look in one that was specifically for Japan videos as well. Although the Japan video that I'm most proud of, and the one that did the best, although not exactly as many views as I would have liked, but obviously that comes down to the pandemic and people not really searching for Akihabara because you can't actually go there at the minute. But the video I'm talking about in particular is my guide of Akihabara. I put so much time into this during lockdown, it was insane. The video is over an hour long, it goes into every single game shop in the entire of Akihabara, which, if you guys don't know, is kind of the otaku centre of the world. It's got like 30 plus different retro gaming stores. It's just an incredible place, and I really think I did it justice with my video where I went around every single shop. I even did overhead views on Google Street Maps and showed you the best route to go to all of them and stuff. I was just so proud of that video. So hopefully when things open up a bit more and when people are actually allowed back into Akihabara, people will actually refer to my video and use it as kind of a travel guide. That's kind of what I was hoping with it anyway. And then towards the end of that year there was some other really exciting videos. So one that I want to talk about was my collaboration video with a lot of other gaming YouTubers. So let's get started by taking a look at the first video, which is from Elliot from the Retro Future.
Why do I love retro games? Well, who doesn't?
And like I said in the past, one of the things that means a lot to me is actually getting recognition from other people in the same space and kind of cheering each other on, and I'm really glad that I got an incredible turnout for this collaboration project. I actually had to split it up into 2 different videos because I had so many video responses. It was really amazing to actually first of all get to talk to all these people and then get to hear their stories as well in my video. So those 2, I think I called it Stories from the Retro Gaming Community, those 2 videos really mean a lot to me, and I'm so glad that people actually felt like they wanted to support the channel and actually submit their videos, so I really enjoyed doing that one. And then going into 2021, obviously a really important video for me then was my 10,000 subscriber special, where I actually looked back over the past 14 years of the channel at this point, nearly 15, which is just insane to think about. So it was kind of like this video but a lot more in depth and looking at the entire range of my time on YouTube and where I want to go in the future. So I'm not going to go into all of my plans here. Of course, over on Patreon I actually did a half-an-hour video about my plans for 2022 and beyond, so definitely consider supporting me over there or here on YouTube using the join button to find out everything that I've got planned for 2022 and beyond. I did change it a little bit since then, so I might go back and do an updated video in the future. So thank you all so much for supporting me over the past 5 years right here in this room. I might be taking a bit of a break, but I definitely will be be back, so subscribe, ring the bell to find out when I upload my next video. Hopefully it won't be in the new house. I really hope it's going to be soon, because for the past 2 months now I thought I was ready to move out and we're still here. So it's really been a struggle to actually make regular videos over the past few months, but hopefully that's coming to an end. I've got so many really exciting plans for the new studio. I've got loads of stuff that I want to buy to improve the channel, and I'm really excited to have you all along for the ride. So that's it for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon for the next video. Goodbye.